Yo, what is up everybody? It's the Gray here and welcome back to another Naruto reaction video here today. And today we have a video for the first time being reacted to on this channel by the great Naruto Explained. And as you can tell by the title of this is Sakura Haruno a bad character? So folks, I think we can all rationally deduce that a large chunk of the Naruto fandom has great dislike for Sakura Haruno. And in my opinion, rightfully so. There are many flaws and mistakes when it comes to Sakura Haruno. Her personal choices, her overall personality, and her seemingly superficial and shallow nature, etc. Right? So those are some of the main reasons why she is so disliked throughout the Naruto community and fandom in its entirety. But, Naruto Explained is someone that I'm a big fan of. He's one of the best Naruto content creators in the community, and I would like to hear his thoughts on Sakura Haruno. I have not heard his thoughts on her as a character, and maybe he'll get into her power scaling, etc. So I'm very intrigued to see what he has to say about this. But before we begin, anyways, really appreciate it. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications to stay updated with yours truly. And if you're new and you enjoy, man, and you mess with the kid, make sure to hit that sub button, because once you do become part of the family forever. Let's not waste any more time, screen. Let's see what Naruto Explained says today. It's a dope intro, by the way.
What's going on, guys? So the following clip is the final preview before episode 1 of the 5 Kage Summit podcast officially drops on the channel. Episode 2.
By the way, folks, let me know if you enjoy me reacting to Naruto Explain, and I will do more reactions to him in the future. He has a lot of videos, a lot of great content. So make sure to hit the like button, get the like numbers high, and that will let me know that you guys want more reactions of Naruto Explained. But let's continue.
It is being recorded this weekend, and I'm finally working with a Naruto content creator who I have the utmost respect for, and I've been waiting to collaborate with them on something for a very long time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the snippet of this week's podcast.
And you know what I don't understand, right? People always saying she has no development. I'm like, what the hell? She's the most developed character in Boruto out of all the females.
I mean, that's a low bar if you're talking about Boruto.
that is a low bar. That is a low bar.
She's the best developed character in Boruto. Okay, in part 2 she was a bit trash, but when they all become adults, Sakura's the best character. I don't get it.
I think a lot of people acknowledge adult Sakura.
Yeah, a lot of people acknowledge that adult Sakura is great. A lot of people say that. They say she has no good fights and that she doesn't develop.
I don't know if I agree with the development part. Because if you look at where she was when she got introduced, and everyone wants to say, well, she called Naruto an orphan. Okay, I grew up without a father. I don't care if you call me a bastard. Get over it. But like, everyone says that she called Naruto an orphan. She's absolutely horrible. But the fact that you see her go from can't standing Naruto, telling Sasuke in chapter 4 that she thinks that Naruto only does this stuff in order to get on her nerves, and because Naruto knows that she has feelings for somebody, she doesn't say Sasuke. And then in the Land of Waves arc, she saves Naruto. Then in the Chunin exam, she is willing to throw away, because Ibiki says that if you raise your hand, your team will never be allowed to be Chunin. You'll always be a Genin. Sakura is essentially about to throw her ninja career away, all to protect Naruto's dream of being Hokage. That is huge. That itself is character development. Even if he says that you can't be ninja again, if it's one of those things where he says you might not be able to retake the exams, that's still huge. That's essentially saying that I believe in my teammate even having the chance, so I want my teammate to have this chance. That's development. Look at where she started and look where she got to that point. That in itself is character development.
Yeah. I think the reason why people say she doesn't develop is because they confuse it with someone like, to say, Gaara or Sasuke, because her development is not as dramatic and crazy as theirs, so they automatically label it as none whatsoever. But her development is more so on her maturity and her worldview and the way she treats other people and becoming an actual ninja, whereas Gaara and Sasuke, they're going through psychological changes because of trauma. So people seem to just label that as not having development at all, but it's just a different level of it,
So you think that Sasuke definitely benefited more from the mellow?
All right, so I don't think it's so much so the level of development, it's the quality of development, and whether it's something to revere or not, to admire. Sakura early on is superficial and shallow. that is definitive, right? She doesn't necessarily need a traumatic upbringing and a dramatic character development with fights and, you know, and trials and tribulations. That's not necessarily the case, right? I think it's more so the way she developed. We have her saying that her biggest goal in life is to get some dick from Sasuke, and then that never really changes. That never really changes. Yeah, she gets some ambition when she wants to become a medical ninjutsu kunoichi and become like Tsunade. Cool, that was a plus in her character development. But throughout the whole time, that's all negated by her making stupid decisions like drugging her fellow shinobi to try and save Sasuke. When in reality, all she did was put Kakashi and Naruto's lives in danger to save her dumb ass. Right? And in Boruto, she doesn't do anything. That is correct. She does nothing. She's static. Now, someone would ask, why does he not elect more than her? She doesn't do anything either. Well, the quality of her development and the most memorable moments of her character development are admirable moments. Trying to save Naruto's life against pain, you know, always being there for Naruto no matter what. Even when he was a fucking loser, she liked him. That's loyalty. You know, Sakura's not like that. She doesn't have the quality in the admirable moments. Not as much as Hinata. Right? Hinata doesn't have these moments that make her look like a dumb, superficial-ass individual. It's as simple as that. It's not really so much the quality and the dramatic level of development, but rather the quality and admiration level of her development. It's not really high at all. It's very low. It's not an easy character to really admire when you look at her entire history as a character. But let's continue on. That's my thoughts on it, at least.
Drama.
I would say that Sasuke's development it's more complex than hers because he's actually experiencing a whole lot more than she is. Like he's going through trauma and, you know, confusion and being lied to and all that stuff and massacre of his clan. So he has a lot more going on with his character than, say, Sakura does. So he still has development, but it's not as drastic and complicated.
Nah, and Kishimoto said that he wanted to make Sakura one of the most realistic characters, and I think he did it, man. To be honest,
He did. I believe he did.
I think Sakura is one of the most realistic human characters in Naruto because
Really?
we're all trash, man. Like
I disagree.
We all have flaws, and she has it, and she displays
That's
it.
what I'm saying. I say that all the time. She's the realest one we've got.
And if we're real though, let's be real for a second. And I know I'm gonna get accused of being a Sakura dick rider for this, but I'm just gonna say it for what it is. Like, let's look at the character of Sakura for a second. I'm gonna give credit to Joe for this, because until he tweeted this, I said, "Damn, that's pretty good right there. I'm gonna steal this shit." Like, he said, if you look at Sakura, she didn't come from a clan. She was somebody who started her ninja career. She was one of the smart ones in the class, but she wasn't the smartest. And she's supposed to be doing D rank missions, so catching cats and little small stuff. And one of her first missions is an A rank mission going up against Zabuza, someone who tried to assassinate the Mizukage. So essentially she's going up against somebody you could argue was Kage level at that point in the series, and she's fresh from the academy. She was out of her element, and any normal person would be shitting themselves. Naruto and Sasuke rose to the occasion, but Naruto's got the main character plot armor going for him, and Sasuke's driven by his vengeance. Like Sasuke was shown taking out those tuning in the early part of the arc as, okay, Sasuke's not going to freeze up in battle. Even Naruto froze at that point. Like, Sakura doesn't really check out of her fear until she sees Sasuke potentially dead, and she's telling Tazuna all about all the things that drilled into her head in the academy. That's essentially showing that she's got book smarts, but she hasn't learned those life lessons of what we call street smarts at that point.
Exactly, and that's how real people are. Like, let's say you train to be a cop, right? Like, you train to be a cop, you know all the stuff, you know all that stuff, you know, and you've prepared yourself, but then you actually experience some of these things. It's much more difficult than what you read and, you know, studied. Because personal experience trumps, you know, studies.
Yeah, it
like,
does.
you can train in the army all you want, but then once those bombs start falling, you get scared.
Yeah, you're right, 100%.
Like, my uncle's a cop, and I can tell you a story on this. My uncle's a cop, and one thing that, you know, he tried telling me, like, 2014, like, you know, when all this stuff about blue lives and Black Lives Matter and everything was going on, my uncle pulled me to the side, because, you know, on my personal accounts and everything, I got very vocal. My uncle found out about it. He said, well, you do know that, you know, I'm a cop, and when you got into trouble, because I was a little shithead growing up, so it was like when you got in trouble, I was the one that kept you from getting the record. That's how I can work for the government now, because like some of the things I did, I should have serious offenses, but my uncle pulled strings on it. And one thing that my uncle told me was like, hey, when you go through all your training, they tell you nothing can prepare you for what's about to happen. One of my uncle's first assignments was he was doing a ride along with ride along's the wrong term, but he's doing a ride along with the person that's supervising him, right? And they go to just a routine domestic issue. And so what ends up happening is they actually hear gunshots, and like the shots go out the window and glass is breaking and everything. And what my uncle said was like he thought that they ran over a power line or something, because you just see like the sparks and everything, and you hear like the little dun-dun. And he's thinking, oh man, you got to pull over and check the car before you go in there. And the guy that's driving him saying like, no, we just got shot at. And he's on the radio saying shots fired and everything. Well, my uncle said when he found out about that, he was frozen, because the first thing goes through his head is like, I got a 2-year-old daughter at home. I can't die on my first day. That's Sakura right there.
Crazy. Wow.
Exactly.
I mean, so Joe made it like that post you put. Like I said, I'm not lying. I read that and I was just like, shit. I never thought of this one.
Yeah.
Hey man, that was good.
All right, there you guys have it. I definitely get my thoughts on that last tangent that Naruto Explain went on. So, I don't agree that she's the realest character. I would say this: are there people like her in the real world? Sure, but are they the admirable people that we look up to? No. That's the problem. That's where the dislike comes from. That's why we use the term bad character, right? There's a certain demographic of women like her in the real world. Do we look up to those kind of women? No, we don't. Girls that are thirsty over dick, and that's their whole existence. Or just anyone in general that's thirsty over something so superficial and shallow. Furthermore, they talked about how she improved and became more of a shinobi. I disagree. At the end of the war, she couldn't destroy the Renegon that Obito had. He was fucking begging her to save the fucking world, and she couldn't fucking do it because of fucking fear. Dude, the world is in the palm of your hand. The fucking very sake of the world's safety is in your hand. You can't fucking destroy an eyeball because you're scared? That doesn't seem like character development to me. That seems like the same Sakura crying her eyes out during the tuning exams or during the Land of Waves arc. Frozen. Or the same Sakura that couldn't kill Sasuke. I don't see any development there. I don't. I'm just being honest. This is the empirical evidence provided, and this is what I extrapolate from it. Right? So I do think she's a bad character. She is a character that had much more potential, though, to be fair. Much more potential. Do I think she has admirable moments? Of course. Of course she does. Becoming a medical ninja, saving Naruto's life, or at least helping him stay alive during the war arc when Madara ripped the Nine Tails out of him. There's some admirable moments for her. When she saved Kankuro's life, when she fought Sasori and showed her tenacity. Yeah, those good moments, but unfortunately for the majority of the Naruto fandom, or at least a large chunk of it, what's overridden by that is her dumb moments and her very unhonorable moments and very selfish moments. Those are the moments that are most memorable to the majority, or at least a large chunk of the Naruto fandom. And that's the truth. Despite her bias. Again, people will compare Hinata to Sakura, and they like Hinata more, who has much less character development. Stat for stat, number for number. Much less. She only has a couple memorable moments, but they're admirable. When she tried to save Naruto from pain. When she showed her love for Naruto, even when he was a fucking loser back, at the very beginning of part 1. She still had that admiration for him. That shows real substance. That shows real humanity. Real love. That's why she's more liked than Sakura. And that's the truth. That's the truth whether we like it or not. So, is Sakura Haruno a bad character? I would say overall, yes. And maybe bad isn't the best word. I would say unadmirable character. She is definitely an unadmirable character, statistically speaking, based off the majority of the Naruto fandom. So yes, I would say yes. But yeah, folks, this is an interesting video. Let me know your thoughts on it. What do you guys think about this? I know some of you think that she's a very good character. Some of you, think the most memorable moments were her good moments, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm just pointing out what seems to be the commonality amongst the Naruto fandom as far as their take on Sakura. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts, whether you dislike her, whether you really, really like her, etc. I'm always interested to hear your guys' thoughts. You guys know this already. I read the comments always. I'm intrigued. And let me know your thoughts on my thoughts and Naruto Explain's thoughts. Maybe you think we're completely off. Maybe you think I'm off. You think he's 100% right, or the antithesis of that. So let me know. But it's going to wrap it up, folks, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Jay the Great signing out. Peace.